Right, you are listening to Let's Go, the weekly anime podcast about weekly anime from Dynamite in the Brain and Secret of the Sailor Madness. So come along and hang with the Let's Go gang. It's Dwayne.
Hey.
It's the returning Niall.
So Genki
wherever he is in relation to where
Sorry,
I am
I'm still on island time over here. My apologies.
And it's me, Brian. And on this episode, we are covering anime that aired the week of the 9th of November to the November the 15th. That's not how you say it. It's the 15th of November. With one solitary exception. We tried to talk about it last week, but only one of us had watched it. It's High Card, episode 25.
Sorry,
the Flowers Bloom.
That means Niall gets to talk about it, so yeah.
Oh, shit. I thought you'd already done that, so I didn't get around to it. I had to catch up with 3 fucking weeks of stuff
that's
a weekend.
Yeah.
I was jet lagged, so I didn't really...
Yeah.
I'm going to try to remember anything that happened to me.
Well, yeah, your young lad, he's going to be put in charge of Pinnacle.
I thought Pinnacle was the care thing, but
yeah,
Pinnacle's the
Leo.
major corporation, is it? I was mixing the two of them up.
Pinnacle is the automobile company that is a front for High Card.
Yes.
Yeah, but he's going to be running the major company now, rather than
It's
just
basically
running the car set dealership. He's going to be running the whole fucking company. Yeah,
taking his dad's place. But oh my goodness, he's been turned into a baby the day before it's supposed to happen.
Like, it seems like he's going to be kidnapped because the businessmen are just like, oh, he's just a kid, he doesn't know jack from shit, and and
it's just like crossfire from that, like from Dragon Ball Daima, that he's just like, oops, it's leaked through to that dimension.
Yeah, turning people into babies it's a great way to defang people, because I like the idea. It's like he's going to be kidnapped, and then he doesn't put up with any of that shit, and his aide kind of checking in and was like, oh my god, he's a baby now. Are we sure that's him and not just a baby that looks remarkably like him? And it's just like he's acting like a little shit. And it's like, no, that's definitely the boss. Okay, we should probably cure this baby situation. It's definitely card related because the dude had a glove on, so we know what we're dealing with.
Yeah, it's basically the excuse for our 2 lads to act like a married couple looking after a baby for a little bit.
No, that's not. It's perfectly explainable. It's like, oh, I didn't know you liked babies. It's like, oh, I fucking love babies. All babies are cute, he says, as his boss is currently spitting milk into his face. And it's just like, I thought you'd like babies because, like, you know, you grew up in the orphanage, you raised all your brothers and sisters in the orphanage and that kind of shit. And it's just like, yeah, they would make a good couple if they wanted to raise a kid. I'm just saying, like, yeah. I'm not in that apartment though. They need to get a better place than his shitty apartment. That place is awful.
Yeah, and the guys who did this, they all come from like this abandoned apartment block, which is now full of children.
To an abandoned apartment block. It's filled with children, no adults, who are like, adults go home. And the thing that bugs me about this, right, is that is never resolved. Nothing comes of that whole situation, despite one of the guys being very adamant about making sure the orphanage is okay and that kids will be all right. He's like, not interested in these fucking kids, nothing to do with me.
Well, they can't solve all the problems in the city. It's just like, you know, this like, and when the city fires have all, like, you know, crime and unrest have just taken over this entire town. You know, High Card's gonna step in.
Well, as soon as we reveal the card for affordable housing and stuff like that, Gun is going to look like a real asshole in terms of like a card you can use.
Yeah, it turns out the 3 henchmen of the guy who turned him into a baby were children turned into adults.
They are children from this apartment complex. He came here with his manifesto of, hey kids, I know I'm not an adult really. I'm a young man, i.e. a kid like you. Check out the newspaper. There's a kid CEO happening. Isn't that bullshit? They're forcing him to be a CEO. I'm going to turn him into a baby. I'm going to turn you 3 into big burly dudes, and you're going to come help me. And the kids are like, yeah, all right. That seems reasonable.
It's just pretty fun, you know, we're fucking 9.
It's kind of fun because they're like bumbling Batman 66 fucking esque villains until you realize they are fucking literal children. It's like, oh, okay, that's fine.
It's a lot about Batman then, like, you know, he disguised this first getting into it, you know. Drugs got a lot of chemicals. You could do a lot of things with that kind of thing. Do some like reverse Conans on a bunch of children.
it's nice to be back to high card because it feels like we're just in a regular plot now, but obviously the shift of the kid's now going to be ahead of the thing, and what's her name? Detective, it's not Sugar Honey, it's
Sugar Piece.
Sugar Piece. Detective Sugar Piece is kind of like giving them information and feeding them the kind of stuff, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's the new way it works. Yeah.
Anyway, the other three end up getting turned into toddlers, and so it's up to VJ to rescue the boss because that's his responsibility.
Be an
He's
old man.
Bernard is out of town conveniently for the plot.
Which they mostly lament because they would like him to make that delicious tea that he makes.
Anyway, it's revealed that this young man was actually an old man who'd used his power on himself, and then the children just throw stuff at him after he gets tied up in a tree by VJ. And so, yes, it is. We don't really get VJ's. We get like a bit more of his personality. 25 episodes in here.
Yeah.
And his
we get the VJ-centric episode, and it's still mostly about his boss.
Yes.
It's about his relationship with his boss.
Yes.
He's defined by his job, unfortunately. But,
yeah.
Yes. Obviously, there's still enough cards left for another season if they want to come back.
And a whole deck if you want to sell the merch. Come on, guys.
Well, if they keep on to kind of push this thing, in a multimedia kind of cross promotional fun thing, so this between all of those, we'll get the full 52, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Then back to things we shared this week, such as Puniru is a Kawaii slime, episode 6, the Runrune-tastic Grand Prix, now with Puniru.
That parses, yeah. I've tried to just get up and everything that was already on the docket before you just start putting in things in there.
Well, there was the problem was it was the Nabishin storyboarded episode was really good, and it is a generally good show. If, as described, definitely sexual preference destroying for the 13-year-olds watching it. So this is like. What's the first part? Oh, she's gone moldy. Puniru has gone moldy. So for Noel, Puniru is a sentient slime. She's not a slime in the Dragon Ball sense.
She's a slime. The thing kids like playing with, like a toy.
Like Gak or guns. It's just like it gets into the carpet, never comes off, stains everything. Or maybe it's also the kind you can kind of copy a newspaper off of.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fun stuff.
So 7 years ago, our main character, Kotaro Kawaii, as a 6-year-old, made some slime, and it came to life, and it was a penguin. Then
it actually fell onto a drawing of his penguin and became a penguin. But it's 7 years later. It is now a little girl who is obsessed with everyone telling her that she is the cutest thing going. At all times.
And she constantly does magical girl transformations. We don't get the sequence at all this episode. We get far more.
No, she transforms off screen a bunch of times, which is good because she transforms a lot in this episode. So it was kind of like, that would take up a lot.
But her transformation involves her sticking more laundry starch and borax into her body, and a third ingredient, which then causes her to go inside a giant gacha machine.
It causes her to turn into a coin. The coin goes into the gacha machine. It selects her, who has a little gachapon, and out of the gachapon comes the new form of her.
Yes.
It's wild, man. And
I would have thought the Play-Doh extruder would have been the way to go there.
Don't worry, Niall. It goes there constantly throughout the rest of the episodes.
So it's just this thing. I was going truly being upon your life. I take different forms. I have a constant need for validation. It's like Roboco never left us.
Yes. Yeah. This is this episode is the third part of a 3-part story involving a
different child.
So there's a different child who's a rich girl. She's like the heir to essentially Disney.
She's the heir to Disney / Sanrio land, basically. Yeah. And she met her own like Mickey Mouse head looking character as a child, as a younger child than she is. And she's like, I wish this would come to life. And then she's like, what the fuck? This guy's toy came to life? This is bullshit. So her maid has gone about making increasingly complicated robots and a mascot suit to convince her that, your one did come alive. The initial robot is like just a skinned standard Sanrio character that has all the same functionality of that toy, but it's like it's her come to life as a real girl.
Yes.
And then the second plan was, I'm going to dress in a mascot costume. It's like, it's me. I'm your character come to life as a real girl. Neither of those have worked. So on the third episode now, where they actually developed a better robot that's specifically made to purpose.
Yes.
I don't know why this is going on for so long, as this long running plot.
It's resolved this episode. The other important thing is the very first one, which is just so Cutie-chan is the name of the character that her grandfather's company has, who's a cross between Mickey Mouse and Hello Kitty.
Yeah.
So she skinned one of the robot versions of them, and that was all she did, because it just carries on doing Cutie-chan things.
It just has the standard tickle me Elmo things. It'll shake its butt as a little dance. If you shake it up and down, it will read its fortune, which is really funny anytime someone picks it up and walks with it, because it's kind of like, your fortune is your, and it just
my magic 8-ball is in there somewhere.
Yes. Yeah, basically. Like this thing has no intelligence. It has not come to life. That is the point of this fucking ongoing saga. It's like, this is an actual toy. This is a toy that came to life. Those are two different things. The toy that came to life thinks it's an actual girl. That's the other thing. Yeah.
And also, increasingly, so do the other 13-year-old boys in the class.
Because that's the ongoing plot. Everyone's kind of forgetting that it is not a toy.
Yeah. So yes. So this though, the story is ostensibly Puniru is depressed. It turns out that's why she's turned moldy. The teacher is like, well, you've just touched her with your dirty hands, that's why she's gone moldy. And then he realizes, oh no, you've been handling her for 7 years. And he's like, no, I don't handle her. What do you think I'm doing to her? But she's never gone moldy before. And then, like, it must be the opposite. It must be her personality has caused her to go moldy.
Yeah.
We also get that the scientist is trying to the teacher, who's a scientist, who in an earlier episode made her turn evil, is trying to figure out how she works as an actual living organism.
Yeah. Because he is very concerned that she clearly does not have a brain. And I don't mean because she's stupid, because it's just slime all the way down. Like,
as is when she's depressed, she realizes she slices the front half of her body off, and then decides just to talk to herself for the rest of her life.
She talks to the back half of her body, facing it, like the sliced off version of it. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Kawaii thinks he's said something wrong, and he's going to apologizes, but it turns out that Puniru is depressed because Runrune has died. And no, she's not died. She just needs recharging. Put the USB lead in her head, and we'll be fine.
Yeah.
And then we get the bulk of the second half is this contest where all the Rurunes, a new one's introduced, who's got AI, and where we get some jokes about how AI can't deal with various questions.
A lot of good fun AI shit jokes this week. Yeah, I'm enjoying it.
And so it's a contest between the new Runrune, who is the AI robot, the old Runrune, who is a toy, Puniru, who is disguised, who's turned herself into another Runrune, and the maid, who has, as we see earlier in the episode, has become increasingly demented and thinks she's Runrune.
She's been putting on the personality long enough.
One more syllable here, lads. This is going to get very confusing.
No, it's like the commentator's like, first, not Runrune the first or anything. It's just like Rune, and the second competitor Rune, and a third competitor Rune, and it's just like it does not fucking differentiate between them. It's very fucking funny. They're clearly wildly fucking different, but that's the joke. Yeah.
But yeah, the joke when the maid is answering questions in Rurune's voice when she's not wearing the costume she made in the previous episode is very funny.
She's made a second personality, and it's overtaking her regular personality as a maid. That is a good joke. Yeah.
And they have the initial one is a quiz, of which it turns out that the AI cannot answer any of these questions, does not actually know anything about
it. Hadn't been programmed
Alice.
To anticipate the responses to those questions. Yeah.
And so it's losing, but then they have a swimsuit competition, which initially it's easily winning because there's a 13-year-old boy who is his thing is he looks like a male host, but is also obsessed with the fake Pokemon within this world.
Yeah.
And he is dressed in his own swimming trunks, which does not help the robot win the swimming costume contest.
We've already established in a prior episode, when you dress a maid in a mascot costume and you put a bikini on it, it looks fucking stupid. So that she doesn't get anywhere that part of the contest. No.
But then Puniru takes Runrune away, and they come back, and they've got sort of, because they dressed up the AI one in like high class swimsuit, which all the teenagers who are voting on it.
Oh, kitty.
Yeah,
they're not as interested as the actual sort of age suitable swimsuits that Puniru and the Runrune come back in, and then they shoot up and win, and everything's gone wrong. And Alice throws a fit because none of these Runrunes are the Runrune she likes. And then we get a sensible talk from Puniru as he points out that, oh yeah, just because it's not alive doesn't mean you can't talk to it. Kotaro talks to Kyuchi-chan all the time. Of course, he gets super embarrassed because this is revealed in front of all his classmates. And then she realizes, yes, this does not have to be alive for me to have a relationship with my toy and the character I've invented. And you can keep this Runrune, but you've got to change your name. And so now it's called now it's called Runru. And I guess it was now part of the cast, though it's not in the next episode, which is probably a good idea because they go to the beach.
It is not alive. It's still this is a toy, but it is part of the cast, and one of our main characters is literally a toy, so I guess that's fine. Yeah,
that's fine. Yes. There's lots of other good gags that I'm not mentioning, but yeah, this does wrap up this story, which has gone on a surprisingly long amount of time. But it does have interesting things to say about like that age where you're kind of growing out of toys, but you kind of don't want to grow out of toys.
You're still attached to them. You still like have, I don't know. You still. I mean, it's like, trying to condense like Toy Story. It's just like like it's got a fun. Oh, like I gotta go to college now, but here I can also give these toys some other child loves them, and there's a fun thing. Here's why they're special to me, and why Allah has a special place in my heart. And it's like everyone can get that. Everyone can get on board with that, right?
And if it was for adults, it would probably go into the whole like you can enjoy something that's fictional without getting obsessed about it or sad that it's not fucking real, that kind of thing, because it's basically making that talk to kids, which is what it should be doing.
Give this talk to other people who should know better at twice or even thrice that age.
Yeah.
Yes, because this is airing in the middle of the night, and the comic did find an adult audience because it's on the web Kokoro website. The thing it reminds me the most of is like when it's like there's like a heavily Tina Belcher episode of Bob's Burgers. Except also there's a sentient slime who's constantly doing body horror comedy. That's not in Bob's Burgers so much.
Well, it is when Tina is like having sexy fantasies about zombies and stuff.
Yes, that is kind of.
That's fair.
Yeah. But we see a brief appearance of the mother in this episode, who I don't think has appeared so far.
No, actually, we see the brief appearance of the mother to set up the joke that she's given Puniru a stern talking to. So Puniru has turned into a sexy teacher in order to discipline everyone. Again, because this is going to destroy people. It's hitting so many fucking things. It's like, now that's your fetish. Fucking deal with that. Yes. That's impossible.
I saw that in a later manga chapter, Puniru does turn into a furry.
Of course, we have to fucking hit every target. It's very important.
Walter's very disguised blank.
Yes, because that was the middle segment. She was trying to teach the non-sentient robot how to apologize.
Yeah.
It was strange, and that also ended in a piece of body horror when she added extra borax to her body to make her body stiffer, and it snapped in half
when she tried to do a proper bow.
Yes,
too much borax is also bad. It's a weird fucking show, but it's good, like, because it's so weird.
Good. And next week it's the Sakuga episode. It's the one they put far too much effort in the animation for.
Yeah.
Then we got Ranma 1/2, episode 6. Kodachi, the Black Rose, this is kind of where it feels like Ranma to me with the introduction of Kodachi.
It's now just the start of things that are martial arts that shouldn't be.
Yes.
Things that are martial arts that shouldn't be, and if the other part of Ranma, we are past love triangles. They are getting fucking trapezoidal over here. It's like we have to draw a lot of lines on a fucking board to write about all the different relationships between all the characters.
Yeah, and it's also a thing with yoga from before. Now we're getting into also it's going to be lots of people who have fallen into a spring or something drowned and they turn into blank when they
Why
get
would you
splashed with
establish that many different springs that turn you into different things if you're not going to fucking use them? Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
She's like, what a deadly part of China that is. God.
And this actually, that's the other thing, Brian, you were saying about him being quite comfortable turning between boy and girl, like where it opens with him coming back from the bakery going like, fucking hell, they give you extra buns if you're a girl. I'm doing that from now on.
Well, they might as well like try and take the scam as far as you can go, right?
Yeah.
So the crux of this is Akane is going to fight Kodachi, the Black Rose, who goes to an all-girls school nearby in martial arts Runrune gymnastics. And then, of course, during the course of the episode, ends up getting injured. So, of course, it's going to have to be Ranma to replace.
It's just like in the course of Kodachi is like broken into her house now to me to try and break her legs with a hammer.
I keep thinking, I'm just like, isn't one of her sisters like a gymnast?
No,
I thought the middle sister was a gymnast.
Middle sister was just like, just lazy.
Yeah, the biggest just a con. She's a con woman, is essentially what her deal is. She's a little bit way, a little bit woo. She's always looking for an angle to make money.
She will nick anything.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's the good sister is the older sister, the bad sister is the middle sister, and then Akane is the martial
violent sister is the little sister. Yeah.
Yes. So this lets Rumiko Takahashi indulge a lot of the things she likes to do, taking the mickey out of shoujo manga with Kodachi. And then at the end, we learn that she is, in fact, the little sister of Kuno.
Which the reveal of that, and the character's going like, oh, okay. Yeah. I see.
And that she goes like gaga when Ranma is like, no, oh, she's a lady flying off the edge of a building here. I better catch her. And it's just like, oh, what a dashing prince. It's like, oh, I didn't know you were. Oh, I'm sorry. No, it's like, no, please don't let go. It's like, oh,
well, then she drugs him. But like,
true enough, yeah.
She's still sticking to the weird creep she is. Initially, I was thinking, I was just like, wait, why isn't she going to this school? It's like, oh, because she's been sent to the all-girls school, so the brother has to go to the mixed school. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like as I say, Akane is just like sprains her ankle a lot. No,
well, she did roll off a ball there, and I was like, yeah, that will get you. Or stepping off a curb,
like that, and
or putting on your shoes wrong. But the older I get, the more I do that. So
if only there was somebody around who was versed in martial arts and had the elegance and training, was also a girl, or could possibly pass for a girl, and something like that. It's just like, and then you're just going, Ranma, let's get in here. We're going to go and train all night. We're going to drill this shit.
We do get the bit where the pig leaps in the bath with Suan and then gets out of the bath as Ryoga, and I don't think at any point will this trigger anything in Suan's brain as to connect the two people.
No, he's just like, like that. He doesn't even.
This is my life now. This is my life. It's got to just roll with this. This is going to happen
now.
Into
the bath, the boy came out. All right. I mean, at least he left. So, yeah. And so, it's the other thing of him like snuggling up to her every night, which Ranma's kind of incensed by, but also training her in rhythmic gymnastics because I guess he's like a martial arts guy who uses tools or weapons. Yeah. So he can do rhythmic gymnastics.
Well, he has like with the nuance, like kung fu goes to a bit more kind of like flexibility and stuff. Like karate, which actually is all about kind of very forceful, rigid strikes. So there's not much of the like flexibility or elegance in there.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we get the opening now with the short hair.
Short hair, yes.
Yeah.
Detail.
Good episode. I liked it.
Yeah, if it bodes well, like I don't know if I'd say, but like but like it's as a thing overall, it seems like it's just like it's definitely kind of Ranma. It doesn't seem it's kind of like have the usual kind of map out of suddenly kind of car crashing quality, because in that same opening they have towards the end of it, on the belly of the big panda, all these like screens and panels of scenes have happened or will it happen. But it's like,
yes,
that means they have like
Yes.
some of these already done, so they can put them on into the opening. I see.
Yeah, when I saw the original trailer, I was like, "Oh, I'm fairly confident about this because this is about as much as what will be covered in the first 12 episodes of however many this is going to. It's going to be if they do want to do everything, it's going to take them forever."
Yeah, well, it's just like now that it's like completed, they won't need to have to make up so much of their own stuff now. So
no, but I think it'll still be 10 seasons of 12 episodes to cover everything, and I don't think they need to cover everything. But I think they said they want to cover everything.
I think just get all the hits in. I didn't go back to that new Ursa Yatsura again, but that's I think that definitely our approach to kind of mirroring here was just like we're going to just like try and get all the hits, and now so much of the filler things in there, even though some of like would say something was made just for the TV show was some of the best stuff.
Yeah, the Ursa stuff is the Ursa adaptation is changing more stuff than this is. This is adding stuff more than it's taking any stuff away. Okay. Like it's added that the broadcasting club characters to provide a in-story narrator for when there's fights going on at the school. And I think they want to get to the stories that never got adapted in the original as part of it. But they've got to do well because they need 10 seasons out of Netflix for it if they want to do everything. But having in the process
of done that before.
In the process of rereading it, though, I'm like, yeah, there's definitely stories you can skip because some of the stories are funnier than others.
There's going to be a few things that it's going to be just repeating himself after a given time. It happens to the best of them. Like even like Coco 13 went on that long and he repeated stuff himself. Actually, he got pretty good at spotting it when the editor sent him like a new premise to do up. It's like, oh no, we've done this one last month.
Then on to Orb on the Movements of the Earth, episode 6, Matters of the Truth. I think this is the worst looking episode they've done so far. There's lots of shortcuts and stuff I was spotting of sort of people going upstairs without actually drawing any sort of movement, just sort of moving the camera.
You saw like teleports onto the landing. It's like there's suddenly his phone saying, "Well, boo! Oh, Mr. Colvey, I didn't see you there. That's right. I just teleported here."
I meant to say that last week. There was like 2 different episodes that animated people going down. In the case of the story girls, it could be magicians, and down some stairs, and there was another one where someone was going upstairs, and, like actually the feet like hitting steps, and I was like, that's good shit because that's the extra mile. But yeah, you're right, this is I am going up and down the stairs just bouncing on the spot kind of thing if you're lucky. Yeah.
This episode introduces us to Jolenta, a research assistant where she's being kept back by her age and gender.
And this obviously people stealing her great ideas and putting their own name onto it.
And the other thing of like not a character from history, but it's like, how come there were no famous women? This kind of shit where it's just like to steal their fucking work and take credit for it. Like that's why there was none.
And also we have the mystery. I assume it's a mystery in the comic. It's not a mystery here because we've got to hear his voice. The mystery of who her father is.
The very obviousness of who her dad is.
Dude,
they could have had him as like, oh, I have a cold or something. It's like, no. It's obvious as shit. It works better in the comic, I would say.
That fun Kenji Rasudo's got like a distinctive voice. Like he's one of my favorite guys. It's because like it's like he has a distinctive thing.
But it also like if you couldn't tell from the voice, every like shot of his hands like white knuckling as he's trying to explain to his daughter, don't look at the stars. Stop it. Don't fucking do it. Don't.
No, by all means, look at them, but don't infer
Don't write it down.
certain things about them.
Don't do any math about it. Certainly. Yeah.
Stars are cool because God made them, and that's been around. It obviously means that, like, that's the way it's meant to be. Don't need to inquire further. Let's talk about how cool they look, and don't, put some of the, like, incongruities or inconsistencies here. No. That's not in God's plan.
The other half of the episode is seeing how much of an asshole our fucking monk guy is. Good lord,
he's amazing. I love him.
He's such a dick.
Oh.
He's an amazing piece of shit. It's really impressive how much there's like fuck this guy specifically.
But okay, we're going to make it a list. We got to, like, split it like 90-10. Obviously, the 90 goes to me. But no, we can't do that. We gotta give like 10% to, like, this person whose address we have. And say, what address? I don't see their address here. Who's this?
And he's like, but I'll know we didn't fucking do it. It's like, you give him your fucking percentage. I don't fucking care. I'm gonna take 90%.
We're treated the course of the universe, man. You gotta see the big picture here.
And that walking by, like, poor people are going, like, the poor people, it's their own fucking fault for being poor. They should have been born poor. If they were smart, they wouldn't be. Now we're going to go on message boards and get someone to solve this fucking equation for us, which is like, he's such a cunt. It's very good.
Yeah, but it's the way it's his attitude to God after we've seen the bit with Jolenta sneaking in to listen to the secret discussing heresy meeting the astronomers are doing. As she crawls down a well and she's praying to God that she's not detected. So she's assuming, like, okay, God, I need God's protection for me to hear this thing, which is in theory heretical to God. Whereas, but if
God didn't want me to hear it, he would have got me caught by now. So
whereas then he's like, well, yeah, okay. I mean, is this taking us to the gates of hell? He gets asked. He goes, no, this is taking us to the gates of heaven.
I think it was good to show, like, that the guys got the information off of an astrologist, because it's just like the work is the work, the truth is the truth, but people have different interpretations of what the truth means. Like, this will mean that forever. One of his conditions, besides getting 90% of the fucking profits, is if I fucking die, the work ends with me. Destroy it all. I don't want anyone fucking building shit off me.
I want to be the one who cracks this case.
My name gets on the fucking history books, right? I discovered God. Fuck everyone else. They can fucking find it without this big chest that I fucking found. Everyone else can go spin on it.
He's also in a rush to go to get there, because I know the risks involved in this. We gotta get as far as we can before they inevitably find us and kill us and burn us. We gotta fucking get this thing going, dude.
The information is fine, but we're missing some key mathematics. So it's not like, what I need to get this paper down water fucking tight before they can deny it and start torturing us to death. So, like, there's message boards around towns that rich people like to solve problems on. Was that a thing? That's bananas.
But people were asking this stuff to church doors back then. That's we got the Protestant.
No. The literal, like, there's a literal board that people put up.
Yeah. But it was like, the town bulletin board. Just be like putting anything on there for it. It could be there was something like that now. Like, there's lots of shit like that. Fucking Galileo or something like that. Or actually, it's probably Copernicus, because it's like Copernicus the anime as well. It's definitely a thing I've heard happen before. Like,
Okay. So in their initial thing of the guy who's the one guy in the research place, like, who's being nice to her, is like, yeah, fucking, I'll get your it's not a thesis, it's a
treatise. Treatise.
I'll get your treatise attention, but I'm going to take all the fucking credit for it. And the thing is, she points out, is about, it'd be so fucking easy if he was just an evil piece of shit stealing my work. He thinks he's doing her a favor, and he technically is, because she could get in so much fucking trouble for doing any of this shit. Like, she could get burned as a fucking witch for one. Like, so, But he's like, I'm gonna get a decent job from all the work you're doing. Then I'm gonna get you into the
observatory.
The observatory. Yeah.
Well, it was more the way he puts it that, well, sure, no matter how good it was, no one would read it if it had a woman's name in it. I mean, are you serious? Come on.
Like, I appreciate
it have a
the work.
man's name in it, or else no one take it seriously. Like,
Yeah.
that's how the world is. Like, you can see where I'm coming from. I'm doing you a solid in doing this.
Yeah. And that's the thing, like, it's not that, like, I mean, like, he is a dick in that he's doing
Uh-huh.
exactly the same fucking shit to her, but he thinks he's doing her a favor. He thinks he's being a nice guy. Dear.
Yeah, so she finds the problem. She goes back, takes a look at the
Radical books.
astronomy books, and is able to solve the problem. Puts it up. They're still in town because they've been putting up on all these boards around town. And they go, someone's put an answer up already. And she's going, oh, I could get in trouble if anyone sees me doing this. And then, of course, it ends with she has been seen doing it by the two men who put
by
Otzi,
the one huge lumbering henchman, and then von Bedeni, this like scarred up dude with an eye patch who's this like a no nonsense character whatsoever. Like, oh, they're gonna kill me, aren't they?
It's a nice reverse shot because like she's quite small. She's like what, 14 or something? I think they say.
She's 14. They say.
Yeah. Like quite like she got the entrance exam. She's smart enough to be where she is. The problem is that she's a woman is what's really fucking her over rather than her age. But so to see her perspective on these guys, they look very threatening because like it's like, oh right, she's really small. I hadn't considered that perspective.
She knows what her dad's job is. So it's like I can see what kind of dudes come after me right here. It's always like a nice thing as well is that like she has the gloves like, oh, you give me these gloves, Barry, so I can study even in winter time. My hands wouldn't shiver, but also they can cover up the rope burns and people like fun rappelling down like all the way down the well to sneak in on the lecture. So yeah, nobody else willing to spit in God's face. Come on in, join the party.
Hey, but Eddie would not look at his spitting God's face. He would look at it as doing God's work because he's like, God hasn't made a mistake. So therefore, I need to make everybody know that this is the way God intended, and we have our place in the heavens.
There's so many shitty lines of his you could fucking quote him on. What was the one where it's just like only a genius would be able to fucking solve this problem? It's like, oh, do you know anyone like that? Yes, me. It's just like
you can't solve it. Shut up,
idiot. You okay? I'm giving you 10%.
Yeah. I do really get like it's like trying to like this kind of things you see in nature, like there's like golden ratio and stuff like that. It's why like fucking architecture, Gothic architecture that allowed in like like bigger windows, let more light in. To engineer that, the guys that built that, they were so dedicated because rather than not of purely some kind of architectural dedication, that came with it too. But it's because like if we get closer to like cracking the geometry of this to make it all hold up, be closer to kind of getting closer to the divine, as it well. Obviously, it's like this is obviously a certain angle that will support this weight to support this stained glass window and this massive cathedral. Let more light in, more of God's light shine right in. We can kind of become more close to the divine by doing that.
Yeah, you're literally the tallest building in town that is held up by mats that a lot of lay people wouldn't understand, and therefore must be divine. That kind of thing.
It's mass that God left it to test us. So we found it out.
Yeah, he's got probably a slight complex that he's the chosen one to explain this to the rest of religion, because that's his thing from the previous episode is, well, all I'm going to do is make the correct argument and it will be accepted.
You've got so many eyes to do that in bed. I suppose like like the dude who put his eyes out said, "I'm gonna put your eyes out," so they can maybe they hopefully they won't go fully blind. I guess at least one of them came back, but he still needs to use like a little like eyeglass to read things closely. Yeah.
It did fuck up his vision. That's why he needs the big burly dude, because that dude has great night vision. It's like, I can't see the stars for shit, so you can do the writing down the numbers, which is where he gets his 10%, and I'll do all the bulk of the work, and it'll be my name on the top, obviously. Yeah.
And then we got Sengoku Youko. Why look at the stars when they could just come down and beat you up? Episode 29, Dousuke and Kumozou. in which Mudo fights our Cloud fella and the two big lads, middle-aged lads, have a fight until one of them has the stoicism beaten out of him.
And they reminisce while they exchange their fists.
The opening with Bancho, like just you can increasingly see like the crackles of lightning across its void fucking face forming like a
Yes.
mouth, and I'm just like, oh, it looks, and the
Yeah.
way it barely fucking moves is so
Yeah.
fucking creepy.
It's very
yeah.
uncanny and weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking they're using some kind of odd filtering effects where I thought the brightness had changed on my phone monitor. I was trying to mess around before and say, no,
Yeah.
it's just this thing is like kind of corrupting this air around us. Because as I mentioned, this is like the entirety of the sky clouds that would not cover the sky for the whole country condensed into this like entire being of this pure energy.
Yeah,
And
but the way it fights, it's still a cloud. Though. That's the other fun thing about it.
Yes,
is,
that it actually like pulsates into like cloud-like forms and everything. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Also, it keeps him getting distracted by this other fight that's going on. He wants to watch that.
And Mudo is getting increasingly angry. He's like, "Look at me!"
And the void people are going, we're controlling that, right? Yeah, we gotta be, right? He's just kicking back and just watching these dudes punch each other. I hate this dude.
They keep going. It's like, yeah, we have far less control than we kind of let on. I mean, like the problem also being that Bancho has used the fact that it is an entire rainstorm to wash away the entire fucking 1,000-strong army, and the other lads are just gathering the army and putting them in a ditch, as far as I can tell.
Hanatora, are you okay? Yes, I'm missing a lot of breath because they're slightly heavy. Fun saying, oh, she just like hoofed over the entire like army of yokai just over and once, which are 1,000 strong. Let's let them over there, and they're slightly heavy. All right. Still doesn't compare to the power of the sky condensed into a single space.
Yeah.
Big stuff getting dropped here.
And that cloud, despite being so powerful, is watching two old dudes beat the living shit out of each other. That's very distracting to the
It's fun. They're working on a lot of stuff here. Like I can see like within like the blows they're exchanging their backstory here of how they were a pretty tight unit. You had like all the monks are in alternate. You got Jinon the mighty, you've got Yazan the wise, you've got Doran the skill. It's like they're the dream team. Why don't you be going on a mission? Jinon's always going on missions for and saying, no, you can't handle it yet. For and saying, but I I got no one to fight when I'm here. Look here,
coach.
what have I got here? Here, read this and get back to me. What's this about? It's a Western martial art called boxing. Give it a read. Let me know what you think. It's like, oh, this is fucking class. I'm gonna be practicing this every day. I'm gonna beat the shit out of Jinon when he goes back here. And they're both so excited when he comes back in again and said, Jinon's back! Hooray!
Like he's running at him like a giant muscly child going like, come on, let's spar. But he's distracted because he has fallen in love on a mission. It's like, let me read your mission report. This is like, I defeated the monster immediately, and this girl is fucking hot, yo. Like it's just like page after page or scroll after scroll of describing this beautiful girl that he's fallen in love with. And it's like, you're gonna leave the monks. It's like, yeah, I want to leave the monks. I'm gonna go live there for that. That's gonna be my thing. Sorry. And your man's like, I've given up martial arts, so you win. Sorry, everyone.
So, damn it, our rivalry is ended. No, but I must seek different purpose by killing a giant tiger and befriending these monkeys. This is going to be a lot of fun. Fighting tigers and befriending monkeys. That's going to be my whole thing now.
Yeah, I did like his thing of just like, wait a minute, the longer I live, the more cool guys I'll get to fight and cool friends I'll make. It's just like, life's pretty good actually. I don't need to live for a rivalry anymore. This is actually pretty sweet.
And you know what? Even better, that tiger you just killed, I can like put him into you and make you even better for saying that sounds really good. That's also pretty cool. I like that.
But this is as his friend has come back going, hey, my entire village was slaughtered except for my son. Want to rejoin the monks for revenge against all the monsters that did this because they got revenge on me, and it's never like ending cycle of vengeance. His man's like, cool, I can stick a dragon in you if that's cool.
It's the same dragon that is like, you killed my brother, so I'm gonna get revenge on your village for killing your village stuff. So I killed him. Okay, well, I can put him and you and say, it's just like the dragon and the tiger, the old rivals and the fucking fucking like feng shui thing. It's like, this is cool. It's like we are quite the pair, you and I.
And yeah, obviously our Tiger Boy has decided to, like, if I beat your ass, then you can finally cry because you've spent all these years not crying about all the tragedy that has been your life leading up to this fucking point. Because you can cry in defeat. That's perfectly acceptable for a man. That's the reason I'm gonna kick your ass. It basically seems to be it. And
Well, it's
no words
like,
exchanged, but it's like, I understand what you're trying to say to me, as he's pummeling the fuck out of the dragon.
well, he's like, I'm the person who's known you the longest. I
Yeah.
understand what you're going through. I
Yeah,
understand
yeah.
also, like, you're not saying this, that you become this like stoic, emotionless dude, but I know what you're kind of feeling inside. I can feel it in your fists.
Mm, mm, mm.
It's like, a bit like, what was that? Which one was that? Like,
Rocky.
well, that's Rocky. That one, right? Random thing. I think it was like fucking, yeah, it was like Butchie Gui, like, like a fight, a conversation, like a punch is
Windbreaker. Windbreaker's
Windbreaker, that's it.
Yeah,
That's
a good one, not the bad one.
Different delinquents. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I do like at the end that apparently, despite the claim that he's going to be fighting Banshiro, it's clear they're still watching this fight because we see Mudo reacts at the end of the fight. Well, we've spent about 15 minutes not paying attention to their fight.
Well,
it's really compelling fist fight, so I get why both other parties are kind of like, oh, that's fucking good over there.
Well, you see his master feeling like, oh, come on, master, everyone, knock him out, knock his ass out, yeah, come on.
Because Banshiro summons like clones of Senya and Mudo from when they were fighting on him when they were younger. To
as
distract
a distraction.
Him.
Yeah. This like apocalyptic battle is like going on, like on all fronts around here. Like the monks have summoned basically giant robots to fun shoot wind and everything like that. It's just going completely nuts and fun. Saying no, hold on. These two wild lads have got I've got to have it out now first. We got to settle this first. Okay, everyone watch. Come on, get out. Come. It's really cool. It's really cool. Even the sentient cloud monster was like this is like descended an apparition to now fun who's like appears no fun spells doom for us all. I said no, this is really cool. I want to see this too. Everyone come on, get around. It's really cool. Even it gets it. So this is gonna be a cool fight. We should probably watch it.
Then we've got Dan episode 7, To a Kinder World. So if last episode was one half of what Dan is, this is the other half of what Dan is. Really sad backstories.
This is like I had forgotten how unrelentingly tragic this was, because like we go back and read it, it's split up out over a quite short time as you would read it. I learned they expanded it like quite a good deal when it came to animating it for this, and yeah, it's just like there was like backstories recently. I thought that's pretty sad, but I'm saying yeah, that's kind of par for the course for Dan as a whole. It's actually. It really kind of disappointing. These ghosts, as ghosts are, they usually have unfinished business on Earth because there's some kind of tragedy, some kind of untimely end they had in their mortal life. And yeah, it had to be something pretty harrowing to make you like become that kind of spirit that's still hanging around.
I like the idea as well that like it's having fun with like aliens and ghosts and that kind of shit. But it's like ghosts are inherently tragic by their nature, as you're saying now. Like bad shit went down.
Yes, but eventually the tragic stories are not isolated to the ghosts.
Yes, that's the other thing, of course. Yeah.
But yes, we still taking care of acrobatic Silky, which they do in fairly quick time at the start of the episode.
And then, it was definitely the kind of this should have come at the end of the last episode, but this with it.
I think if you did it at the end of the last episode, it'd be just like, oh wow, he did a flying headbutt. Wow, that's that taken care of, and then like the actual best part of the episode being not the fighting, but the talking. And
I suppose it would have dumped you right into like the trauma.
Yes, or you'd have 7 days where you thought Ira was dead. Would be if they did it at the end.
Oh fuck! Yeah,
that's ratings gold, Brian. You have to do it.
Because that's where we ends the fight, and then they get the ball back, and they realize Ira's dead, and then the credits run, and and then after the credits, you've got to try and bring her back to life. It's difficult to do resuscitation when your arms are tied behind your back, and also the ghost has started to come back alive again. But the ghost is going to save Ira's life and gets Momo to transfer her aura to her to restart her heart, because that's
and
like a battery.
Explained by like Turbo Granny. It kind of explains it's like an empty battery, but like aura is like a thing you can like power, you can move it around. But also the whole thing of if humans are eaten by a ghost, they die. It's weird that you guys survive, but you're possessed by my power and you got like psychic power. So that makes sense. Yeah, that's how you guys survived. Like that's a regular human. She's dead. Like that's
again. We have to dig into Star Platinum, go like reach into your chest with my power, psychic power, and just like manually just like try and keep your heart moving again.
Yeah. And our Silky kind of comes back and is like, can I help? And it's like, we don't fucking trust you. It's like, you're just gonna eat us again. It's like, what if I tear my own fucking jaw off? And they're like, I think that's a good fulfillment of a promise.
Pretty
honestly.
Dedicated to like, he's been sincere about this. He's even more sincere because like I'm flashing through her entire like memories here as we're transferring the aura across, and is just she used to be like a woman, just used to be like a single mother trying to make ends meet. Like she wanted to be a dancer, but life happens like this. You got a kid to raise, so you have to like do odd jobs like mopping up, doing janitorial work. And some like some sex work there as well to try and make ends meet, But it's all for the kid. Do it for her.
Yeah,
do it for the child.
I did like how all the roughness of her job is like it does, the way it's framed and everything. It does feel elated by any of the interactions with her daughter. Like it's just like, this makes it worth it. This kid makes it fucking worth it. And obviously when that's taken from her, besides all the horrific fucking violence done to her body in that, just the glass cutting into her,
just the brutal manner of those just getting flung around, and just just kind of like just gonna take your 5-year-old child. Just gonna understate that. We don't know what we want to do with her, but because we're gonna repossess her and I don't know, fucking let your imagination fucking do what it has to out there. Like it's gonna go to a bad place. It's better that you don't find out.
I do wonder whether we will find out at some point down the series.
Yeah, it seems like the kind of thing it does wrap up stuff. It does have plans for things, but
I was wondering that myself.
Particularly now, at this point in the comic where it is now, I'm now like, I think there's more stuff going to be resolved or circled round on from early stuff than I might have thought of to begin with.
Yeah. It's just like so many of the things of this like a weird ghost that wears a red dress, and it's just like a kind of ballet dance stuff like that. So like the ballet dancer is just like that's just like the life she could have led, and we're trying to like try to kind of pass it on to the kid. Maybe she can become like the famous dancer I couldn't be. But just the dress,
wasn't that she was pushing her wishes down to the kid. It was just that I'm going to build you the life I couldn't for myself.
Yeah.
That kind of way. Yeah.
But also that dress she's wearing is like the dress she saved up to buy the child for her 5th birthday. It's just stop.
Yeah.
That's a lot. And it goes like some really wild visuals there as we get her from her point of view as she just like rushes out like into the street, chasing down the gangsters trying to get her child back. And
there's a lot of great visual work in that. Besides like just the animation stuff, that kind of background thing. It was like I assume it's CG with like a filter over it. It nearly looks like photorealistic of a first-person perspective of someone running down a rainy street.
Yeah, they did it in Blender. That there was like an interview up about the animation from the animation director how I did it and so again they had scope to expand this out from what it was in the comics. So it's just go a bit more elaborate with it. But it was like a Blender kind of thing to get that kind of thing going on there.
Okay,
and then.
And then then after that we see her as a ghost interacting with Ira, and then we get sort of Ira's flashback as well of her.
It's a less violent fucking tragedy, but it is kind of the thing of seeing your mother be put into an incinerator because it's a funeral, and not understanding it because you're too young.
Yes. And being told by your dad you got to work really hard to make your mother proud when you meet her again, and you're like, that's why she's messed up this way.
And it's basically the thing of we see as she's given Silky's aura, so it's just like, yeah, you can live now, but she'll die, she'll fade away to nothing. There'll be nothing left of her, nothing to remember. It's like, well, will she go to heaven? And it's like, no, she will go to nothingness, says Turbo Granny. Turbo Granny's not pulling any punches. It's like she won't exist anymore. You have to basically forgive yourself to move on, that kind of way. And it's because she's been a dick of a character, this girl, like the whole fucking time. Her hearing this and going like, I'm gonna go up to her, I'm gonna hug her, I'm gonna call her mother, to give her that peace right at the fucking end. That's why she's a good character. That's why she's a good kid. And it's these things. Oftentimes these kids are little shits very often, but they're good. They're good where it counts.
Yes, that's it. I just, it's not like this is like a supernatural action thing / romance comedy thing.
Yeah,
but it's not completely chaste or anything about any of that. It's just a fun saying, yeah, kids be fun, be little shits, and be thinking about sex and boobs and tits all the time and getting naked and stuff like that. But does that mean that like their feelings are any less sincere or genuine?
Yeah.
And to be fair, most of the adults are also little shits.
Yeah,
they're
well. Not free of sin for sure.
Some of the centuries old spirits are little shits as well.
Yeah.
And Turbo Granny, I know you were a soft touch. You saved all those girls' souls. So don't you be going on about this way now. But I suppose you gotta be hard, because you've seen too much tragedy on these streets.
Yes, the bit where she climbs out the backpack on his back and sits on the backpack like it's a throne is a great bit of framing.
Turbo Granny's like, I'm the main character. Everyone fucking
yes. Well, yes, because you go from the very sadness, the sad ending of this episode to upbeat, jaunty music video. Which
He smashes right into it. Yeah.
I was thinking there was a tonal fucking wild whiplash, but I was like, honestly, I think I need it after that. I think I need the levity.
Also, that tonal whiplash is Dan.
Yeah, that's the other thing, of course.
Well, yeah, it's like really just like fucking. It really fucking got hooks into me like a lot more than I thought it might. It's just like, man, this is, I guess, this is what effective, just like fun direction and this like elevation the thing and gonna do.
Yeah. I really enjoyed it in the comic, but I get like when you have the direction and the acting and a lot of the different framing, like it really enhances it. I seen a lot of people going like, time to watch my fun anime Dan, and then got fucked up by this episode. It was, no offense, it was very funny to me as it's like, oh, I know what's coming. You guys are gonna get hit real hard.
I saw some of the kind of like captured there, like it was up on Netflix. It's like filed under 30-minute laughs. But yeah, okay. Well, it's not every week.
I mean, there's still some laughs in this episode, but yes, for the most part, it's very few laughs. Also, because as a manga reader, you can then go, these guys don't even know what awaits them.
Oh, you're sad now. Wait till you get to the real stuff, the real shit.
Yeah.
Oh man,
the bits where the authors realised how much this is effective and will make it go on a lot longer. Then on to negative positive angular episode 7. Who is this guy? Which you think is going to be about the little weird guy, but it's not. It's about our main character, and
it's about the little weird guy commenting on the entire fucking episode. He's the narrator for the whole fucking thing, and also a TV show, as it turns out.
Yes,
you should hear us saying, "What's up with him?" Like fun saying, like, he just bought a new car, so obviously doing well for himself. Yeah,
not even a car; it's a camper van. Like those things are fucking expensive.
Do I find out until we show up and they go fishing that day?
That's true. Actually.
Who wants to go spin in my car? Says Takaki fun saying, anybody? You want to go in his car? Okay, well I won't give you a lift now, would I?
But also the fact that he drives off in a camper van and he has to give them a lift in his tiny little dinky thing.
He probably took fun taking them all in there. I don't know why he didn't offer, but I guess
they didn't ask.
He just bought it, didn't want to get it stained, But they kind of always like when speculating about fun, saying, "How does he make all his money? Like, fun, where was he getting that money from?" Yeah, I've seen where he should. He's got some kind of scars in his body. Like, maybe he's seen some action. I
heard he's a world champion. At what? Like, possibly at what?
Mysterious individual.
he reminds me, not in terms of what he's actually like, but in terms of this is what this other character would wish he was like, is the guy in Mr. Nietzsche in the convenience store, the one who's always doing the scratch cards and fantasizing about what he's going to spend the money on.
Yeah.
Because they look similar in terms of being sort of weird-looking glasses guys who work in a convenience store. But obviously, this guy has got money from somewhere, and he doesn't buy a tank. That's the thing I remember from the first episode of Mr. Nietzsche, is that he's going to buy a tank.
And the other major difference is that this man is 3 apples tall, and that guy is the size of a human. So it's like a little different. Yeah.
But yeah, it's essentially about our main character. Sort of. Well, I guess he's not enjoying fishing in the way that the other guys are enjoying fishing, and yet he still does get a one that got away story by the end, even in his disastrous bit of fishing he does for most of the episode.
I did again that thing of him buying the expensive reel and repeating the ad pitch, because it's like, oh, it's like all this technology compressed. Yeah, but in this bit where he's watching the fishing show. And he's asking questions as if he's being interviewed in the fishing show.
Yes.
Well,
there's no one there.
It's just like, oh, this is like,
yeah.
He's still figuring out what. I'm obviously getting a kick out of this, but what is it? No, it's because I look cool at the guy on telly for and saying, yeah, I'm gonna look cool at the guy on telly, so I'm gonna kind of emulate him. Yes. Oh, version of what today? Little fish? No. I think I'll take my lure rod and go over here and catch me a big one, actually. If one saying, yes, no. So, why don't you picture a rod today? If one saying, the reason it just, I suppose, felt right, yes, and he's no actual like insight into why he's doing this at all. He's just doing it because it feels right. The true sign of an amateur.
Where it's just like, if he knew about fishing, he'd know there's fish over all those fucking seagulls are going crazy. But he doesn't. He's just like, the seagulls. It's like beautiful nature. Yeah. It's like he's like the what was it, the something of the amateur, the naivete of an amateur. He's like, yes. We've all done that once, that kind of thing, like looking back on it fondly. Basically calling him a fucking asshole in the nicest way possible.
He's being a bit of a poser, is what it is. Like,
yeah.
Because his phone goes out the whole thing, and it's like, no, I'm going to be a cool dude. If it's just me against the wild, and it's not going on there. Like, where he could have just like, we all went out today, like, it's a good to go fishing for these little tiny fish. No, direct little ones, but you get lots of them. And saying, I'm not doing that. Meanwhile, they're all over there having a great crack with catching fish. From the bait smells like, we're being the water smells like absolute shit. But hey, it's all right. Have a good time together. Oh, some got away up and messing around with each other, and he missed all that because he was off by himself, just fucking trying to be a cool dude.
That being professional fisherman, he could have been hanging out with his mates, having a great time. Which is the point. Is like they're going to end up with. They're only small fry. Who cares? They end up with like a whole fucking cooler full of them, and it's like they're gonna eat well tonight. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
man?
yeah. It's just a frustration with this dude is that he's got no fucking patience, which is just like that's like lesson one for fishing. It's like fun saying you're not gonna get a big catch every day. You might catch anything at all, but you gotta be fucking patient and play the long game. He has no fucking patience for it. Oh, understandably, he's got 2 years to live if he doesn't act.
If he does nothing.
Also, he doesn't know what he's doing because once Hannah comes along and tells him where he should be fishing, he does get a bite, and this is the one that gets away. But unfortunately, then he's because he's on his own, he's got no one to help him bring it in, and so
they couldn't grab the net for him, that kind of thing. Yeah.
And then it leaps up to taunt him, and he's like, "Did anyone else see that?"
I appreciate that they did that off camera, just so we, the audience, also don't see it. He's literally the only one who saw the one that got away. Yeah.
But essentially, that is an essential part of being a fisherman.
Yeah.
Is having those stories where you swear you almost had it and no one else was there to see.
I was sure all is well that ends well, like if we didn't get any closer to cracking the mystery of Suti Heroes where he gets his money from, but I guess, it's all right. We've got a lot of fish here today. And now tonight on Gone Fishing with Bob Fires Murder, saying, where have I heard that voice before? Wait a minute. Don't mind me. I'm just going out to the toilet.
It's like you see that little dinky cartoon man and you can't associate it with the sexy voice coming out of the TV screen. It's just like completely unrelated. It can't be the same guy. No way on that.
Yeah, well, there's good money doing the VO work, you know. And just coming back from Japan, where there was like, like basically like we knew it wouldn't be anything on. But let's flick around anyway, see what's on the different channels in the hotel rooms. There's like, there's lots of the same kind of like light entertainment programming, but lots of voiceover in it. So there's
Yeah.
a good bit of work to be had there if you're pretty savvy at it.
Then it's Mecha-Ude episode 7. You just met me, in which we're into the second half of the story. And Alma's got his memories back, and they're haunting him, and he doesn't want to see his new buddy fall the same fate as his old buddy. And we get to see that fate, which is being crushed in a mine.
No, that's how they meet. Like he gets better
from
being crushed in a mine.
Yes, they met. They punched their way out of there together.
Yes,
we punched our way into the situation. We'll punch our way out of the situation. That's very much so. Yeah.
So this is all relayed later to Hikaru by the other arm.
Fist.
Yes, Fist, who was attached to the brother, who was the guy.
I gave the other right arm to my sickly brother in the hopes that we could find a cure for his generic
wasting disease.
Yeah, exactly.
That has apparently been inherited by his, I assume, child. I assume the two brothers are the children of the sickly one. Given
or like
that green tinged hair. No. Everyone has that.
Yeah, so it's Tsukito is Yakumo's brother, who is the one I suspect of being the figure who was finding Amaryllis. But it might also be the older son, Naruhito, because they do have similar silhouettes and both wear glasses. And also it's a good chance that Tsukihito is your fella in the mask. Because they never get to the explanation of how the arm is no longer attached to Tsukihito and is now attached to the fella in the mask. I didn't check whether they've got the same voice actor.
They didn't sound the same, no.
No, but also I don't think they had the guy in the mask say much this episode. It was mainly the arm doing the talking.
No, I think they're two different people. Like fucking presumably, like, like once you die, like, as long as you sit down on somebody else in short order, it'll be fine.
Yes.
Yeah, because it just reduces to like a cube or whatever.
I mean, that's how Aki has both like Sinisandex, well, her sister got killed, so just kind of stuck the arm onto her really quickly before like it dies or atrophies.
I'm just going from the extra textual information that the voice actor listed for Tsukihito on the website is ?
Okay.
Right. Yeah, so this is after they've been chased around town because Alma gets in a huff and runs off on his own. He no longer has to be within 5 feet of Hikaru. He can now run around with a hoodie attached. And so he's being chased after by Arms, who've sent 2 more guys in disguise to act as bodyguards at the school.
Their disguise is like, we need to look extremely suspicious so nobody fucks with us. It's like terrible plan.
We got the one lad from the Kagami group who's demoted to a security guard.
But he's like, oh, this is my big chance to fucking like get that and get promoted again. You got my arm. I'm fucking stealing that shit back. So gets completely distracted from the job he's on. And most of this is on the back of a truck. I think there is a lot of this fight.
Yes, because we get a couple of new Kagami agents, Forte and Namba. Forte is the gothic Lolita girl with the drill hair and the drill Gatling gun arm, and Namba is the middle-aged guy who wants to clock off as soon as possible.
Like, I don't want to fight on the back of a truck. My insurance.
Also, Tooz is back, the sniper.
But mostly she's just like, I can't get the shot, and what the fuck are they doing down there? Jesus Christ, this is a clusterfuck. I did like the initially try and escape on the back of the truck. Our main guy and girl, and she's just like, well, as soon as this, or is it her or one of her arms that says, as soon as this truck gets to
Arms are
school,
making sandwiches. Yes.
yeah, and it's just the idea that it's like, I don't think this truck is going to school. I think this is a random passing truck. Why would you assume it was going to school?
Well, just do land deliveries. I might get to school eventually. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but someday. You just wait.
Mm-mm.
And eventually Jun finds Alma and tries to connect to him, but fails.
Well, he just puts the hoodie on. It's like, that's good enough for me.
Yes, that will have to work. And then they have a tearful farewell because he's going to go and help out Jun. And I guess the Kagami group reactivate.
Ordella.
That's it, Ordella.
The prime Mecha-Ude.
That's the thing that got his Alma's initial partner, the head of the corp, killed in the first place. They tried to activate the god of the robot arm people. Bad idea. It's a crazy hand. Don't do that. So he had to punch it into submission, and that's what sealed up his memories in the first place.
Yeah. We also get like a flashback where we see the world they came from. Essentially, they've run out of energy in their world, and so they turned themselves into cubes. And then they found our world where they could get some energy, and that's
where the humans are just fucking knocking that shit out the whole time. It's like, okay, that works.
Right now, get a raise. We can't make our own get a raise. So,
so yeah, it's like, Carrie, you don't need to be here anymore. You've not got a superpowered arm, so you can go back to your normal life.
I've explained this to you so you could fucking leave. Get out of here.
This is the 5th time he's been told that, you know.
Yeah,
it's just like it feels like, you know, okay, like you can't keep pulling that out. Like, you know, I think he's in this. I think he's like, you know, his resolve is set. He's going to stand by his friend, the robot arm. So you can't keep telling him this. I think it's not going to be as effective each time you do it.
Yeah. Also, because he's flashing back to the robot arm giving him advice earlier, and he's going to follow this advice. But yeah, at the end, he has to let him go. He's off to the Kagami group to cause whatever problem's going to trigger the rest of the story. Yeah, pretty good episode.
Yeah, well, it's starting to, like, you know, I guess now we've kind of resolved Aki's thing. That's not kind of hanging in the air anymore. So we're getting into, because the Kagami group has seemed like, you know, really on the outskirts. They seem like, oh, these are the main villains of the whole thing, right? But I'm saying, well, yeah, but we're not going to be touching on them aside. They're like they're bumbling oaf henchmen who they've acknowledged we have bumbling oaf henchmen. We kind of had to kind of change the kind of personnel here and get somebody who knows what they're doing. Like, this guy's been demoted to just rank and file security guard now.
Yeah. They're not very well organized for what are supposedly the main villains. Like, no shit, they're not the main villains. Yeah.
Well, Nahito looks very evil when they're getting ready to activate.
Yeah, he's got his own shit. This is a means to an end for him.
Actually smiling. Yeah. Wish he wouldn't.
Yes. But yeah, I think everybody else is kind of they're seeing it as business and not being evil. Whereas Nahito seems like he's got some other motive. Possibly Todo does as well, but I'm not entirely sure Todo's other motive is evil, even though he does have one of those evil arms attached to him. Though his hasn't talked, unlike Amaryllis. But at the same time, it doesn't seem to be bound like the other ones were.
Yeah, it doesn't have the telltale signs of that. Or is his one manufactured as well? That's the other thing.
That's what I was wondering, yeah, whether, because he seems closer to Jun than Jun's actual family are.
Yeah, it's like, hey, we shouldn't, like, you know, send your, like, little brother to go get killed all the time. He knows the risks. He's fun. If he can't hack it, he doesn't belong in this family. Okay, let's start mention it.
Yeah, and is he using, like, him as a pawn in his own scheme, that kind of thing? Yeah, I guess we'll have to see.
Then we've got Trillion Game, Episode 8, Flowers and Splendor, in which our lads launch their fake AI website and sort of whittle it down to we're just going to do it for like things with attraction. I think attraction items they call them.
Yeah, it's like people are shy about approaching their prospective romantic partner. So
and then
if we
building
can
it initially like
that,
we'll just buy gifts for people, and it's just like, okay, that didn't work. What if we go this way? Like, and changing their business operations the next fucking day because it didn't work yesterday. Like, because they can do that.
Well,
because they're not a real business.
It's just they're trying to. Well, we don't know what to do. So we're going to try everything, and then once we tried everything, we're just going to kind of get a better idea of fucking just like to kind of whittle it down, narrow it down.
To refine until we see what sticks.
I appreciate fun like we're going to try everything. We use all tools available to us, however ethical you think they might be. But at least I appreciate that it acknowledges that a lot of artificial intelligence and technology bullshit is usually based upon someone behind the computer just fucking hacking it out, just doing some hard graft. It doesn't just like happen by magical.
So we got Haru pretending to be an otaku so he can get a big idol fan to
influencer to
advertise their website to people who will buy.
It's basically like, I'll get you. I was like, hey, I'm a big. They see this fucking ripped, sexy otaku, and he's like, hey, I'm a big fan of your stuff. I follow you on Insta. Like I've heard of this fucking AI that you can like they customize it to send to idols and shit like that. So and Iman's like, oh really? So he sends it to the idols, and they made sure they made that bouquet very nicely because one used to work in a flower shop, so that's like she can do it. And the idols are like, yeah, fucking we'll put that up on Instagram. And his reaction to going like, yeah, fucking hit viral while he's on the can. Just
that's the fact that he's on the toilet and the fact that his bathroom is covered in their posters as well.
Yeah. It's so good. But it's just like, we just need to go viral. Well, once, and then we fucking got it. And once we start making some decent sales, and it's like, won't we hit a number eventually of like people trying to get to the service that we can't provide for? It's like, yes, and that we sell. Like, because the whole point.
All the time is just like fucking your man there, the investor is just like fun said. I see what you're trying to do there, but the otaku market's only so big. It's like after that, like they're going like, once it get too big to keep up with everything else, it's gonna collapse in itself. As if we know that, that's what we're going to this set us before. We're setting it without getting the proper AIs. I mean, you can't just like sell like Rin along with it. That's how it was. Wouldn't that be dishonest and fraudulent? Fun said, no. We use the money from the sale to develop our own AI. So once it's complete, it won't be fake.
Yeah, we'll with the money we make from the sale, we'll slap together an AI. We'll pay someone to fucking do it. But also, as we looked through her list before of like companies that want an online shop, basically, we're selling them the rights to our successful online shop. So it's win-win. They get the thing they want, a successful online shop that we were, and we'll throw together an AI that's fucking. It's okay, like fuck it.
Yeah, and then it's double good that the woman sees through them, but it's like, you've got the goal, you've got a successful website, you've got the goal to try and sell me the successful website, and I see Splendor in you, so I'm going to sign this contract, but on the requirement that you've got to make this ridiculous amount of money in a month.
Yeah, like our biggest competitor makes like 1 million sales a month. I want you
20
to make
20 million a month is what.
Yeah. So I want you to do like bigger numbers than them.
There's a market I've never been able to crack into.
Yeah,
that's the host club scene. Like, oh my, holy shit! Like, no one's ever done this before, and it's just gonna go. So that means like we're gonna do some in-depth research here. We'll have to be like hosts for a little while and get an idea of what the market is.
Yeah,
like again, as he points out, going from the Dr. Stone thing of pretending to be an otaku to pretending to be a fucking host. It's just like, what? How have you gone this direction with it? Yeah.
Yes, because Rinra is like, there's one market, but how it relies on interpersonal connections to break into, and then Harry's like, interpersonal connections, and then hard cut to them in a host club, and Gaku is also there, dressed as Kiryu.
Wow.
Yeah. But even like in this episode, you do see what Rin's bringing to the company, not only from knowing flower stuff, but her actual models of what these different companies are looking for. It's just like, that's very beneficial, but also because Gaku does not understand this. It's like, hey, Gaku, you might understand this, but some people don't like talking to people. Like I know, weird to you, but
what?
like, so It's like, yeah, they don't like talking, they don't like wheeling dealing, they don't like people trying to sell them stuff. So that's why we came upon this AI fucking fake AI thing in the first place.
Also, Yaku, well, being this ace computer programmer, doesn't know what art of AI means.
I fucking much
Because he's a
I have
real
no
computer
idea what was
programmer.
that.
Like, it's just like, I don't know what the fuck that, I don't know what it stands for, because like it's not real. And it's like, correct, he's in the right to not fucking know anything about this. It's a bubble, it'll be gone soon, it won't fucking matter for programming down
Like,
the line.
again, when I appreciate that fun saying we're pulling lying our arses off here. We know this is an absolute con, but we're being honest about them. Like, we're discussing these things. These are like last things that are floating around right now. People are going wild about and trying to find the money and trying to fucking find a profit in right now. And we know what to point say, yeah, it's just just total bullshit. But these guys are trying to make money, so this is going to be a topic we'll have to kind of touch upon. And I admire the fun and say, like, it's just, yeah, we're going to use this. It's total bullshit, but we're still going to use it. Here's like one way you can kind of like leverage it. If it's going to be like a scam from the top to the bottom, they may as well fucking treat it as a scam. We've got no reference for it. We're not kind of trying to like, sell it as some kind of like, paradigm shift in human direction or evolution. No, it's just fucking another scam. This con artists.
But even the other thing of like having the woman they're trying to sell, who's on the board, that they're trying to sell their website to, like asking a question that an AI will definitely fuck up, realizing, oh, the AI didn't fuck that up. That's a person. They're trying to scam me. If they can achieve this level of scam, I will buy their fucking company because it'll be worth it to me at that stage. And I was just like, that's really funny. Like the person you're trying to sell to knows it's a scam, but they can make some money out of this fucking scam.
Yeah. Well, also, this is a recurring thing with like middle-aged guys not getting it, and then the woman sat between the two middle-aged guys
because she had to work so much fucking harder to get the same position that they did. Yeah,
it's just because you could presume, oh, she works for Farrell. She probably have no idea what it is. But I'm saying, yeah, I read the trades. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Just great shit, fucking top to bottom. Yeah.
Then it is the Noble Farmer, episode 21.
Oh,
I think it's just called Horses.
Horses.
I forgot about this. I think that's one thing I got to
blown
up on a little bit. Well, I could say I don't need to watch it. I've lived it.
The thing that's different, and I mean, it's just a cultural kind of difference, is I like so we raise these horses for meat. They're big and muscular, and sometimes they get scouted to be in a race, and it's like, and if they're bad at racing, we just eat them, and it's just like, okay, right?
Yeah, I ran into like more than a couple of horse meat specialist restaurants over there. It's like, oh well, I've heard of these, but never encountered them in the wild before. This is kind of interesting.
Yeah, there's the current manga on Manga Plus, isn't it? Of like, let's eat horse meat together, or whatever it's called.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, there's a parody of the horse girl,
Uma Musume.
Yes.
Yeah, it's for legal reasons not called that.
You just have the bars across their eyes, like, oh, there's gonna be any horse girl.
They have like censored over any place where their name would be on their horse girl person, basically. And you one's just like, I couldn't get into it because it's like the idea of like baling the hay for them and shit like that. It's like, I don't know, it seems weird. And it's just like, you're not supposed to treat them like livestock. That's the point of this game.
But isn't there like, author avatar a cow? Don't worry about that. This we're not talking about cows, we're not talking about horses, all right? Let's get on with it.
Yeah.
So yes, it runs through the breeds of horses you can find in Japan and their purposes. These are for racing. These are for show jumping. Yeah. These are for work. The Hokkaido
the Hokkaido fucking horse, man. I felt bad for that horse, and it was going like, oh, the poor horse, but I was thinking like, you bred it to be really hardy and small, and you drive it up to the mountains in the winter, and then you leave it the fuck there all fucking winter, and you come back and get it in spring, and I was like, fucking hell, man, that's rough.
Poor pony.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a bit of discussion of like thoroughbreds and how they sometimes race and sometimes get turned into meat, and sometimes race they get turned into meat. And then a bit more about other sort of horse activities, the wild horse chase, and some more stuff about show jumping. And what's the punchline? It's hard to tell who's human and who's. Oh yes, because they're talking about show jumping. How the staff at the show jumping are more concerned about the horse's health.
Yeah,
than
like
they are
the
humans.
horse hits the fence. The rider goes fine. It's like, is he alive? Yeah, he's breathing. It's like then chasing the horse. It's like, holy shit, that horse is getting away.
Yes.
Well, a human knows when to stop, and like maybe like tens of injuries. A horse will just keep fucking going because like they're afraid of their own fucking shadows and reflections.
Like it's the thing of it's like a person's been in a car crash. Is the person okay? Yes. Right. The car is still fucking going. We need to catch that. That's the situation that they find themselves in.
Yeah, that was it. Then the stories of girls who couldn't be magicians, episode 7. Happy holidays, except I'm feeling sad. In which I guess the villains might not be the villains after all. They might also be other good guys just trying to get this girl to do her goddamn magic.
Yep. Everyone's like, just fucking do it. Cast the spell.
Has to go through her granny. Look, your granddaughter is fucking just up royally for chin. Oh, I know. She's the fucking chosen one, and she's no fucking idea. She's no self-confidence. I know. I'm sorry. I raised her wrong, and I thought like the whole deal about getting a double from audition was going to be the whole thing would seal the deal. But Jesus just goes to one school, and the one time she falls down, just completely just messes up with her confidence.
Yeah, she has to do the magical girl, like summon the spell twice, like fucks it up both times. The other girl was like, hang on, I think I can do it. And then she has a magical girl sequence and fucking like, yeah, she can do it. You could do it.
Just try. Just follow through. Maybe just to see if it goes. Just give it a try. And say, but what if I do it wrong?
Yeah, I like the fake out with Suzuki going, I gotta go and see her, and you think she's going back to see Kurumi, but no, she's going to see Kurumi's grandmother. That was a good bit of fake. Oh, the fact the cat turns into a man.
I was disappointed. I just wanted to be a cat who was inexplicably a nurse, but it is a cat who is sometimes a man.
I suspect he's a cat who's sometimes a man and not a man who's sometimes a cat.
Sometimes a cat, yeah.
I'm waiting for that owl to turn into a person at some stage because any animal now could be a person.
I assume every animal is a fucking person at this stage, yeah. That frog's a guy, yeah.
Yeah, and it turns out the boy who turns into a dog is Karumi's brother?
I guess they have the same hair color. That didn't occur to me as a human, not as a dog. She's not like she's not Cocker Spaniel color.
Oh, I suppose it is.
And it feels like from what his comments is like he's trying to the things he's doing are trying to like make her use her magic.
Yeah, he's setting up scenarios in which she'll have to do the spell right, but she never has so far.
Yeah, because they find the big vortex thing they discovered at the end of the last episode. Yuzu saves them once. They go back a second time, and Yuzu
the guy can't use his magic pocketbook because it just sucks in all the magic. Basically, he does successfully throw a tornado at it later, and it just gets absorbed into it. And it's like, like fucking anti-magic looking shit. Yeah.
So they have to be saved by this hot guy who's about to do some important exposition, and then the exposition turns into cat talk, and then he gets annoyed that they can't understand what he's saying and wanders off as a cat again. That's what makes me think he's a cat.
Yeah,
is that he's annoyed.
Well, he also was like, well, you could call me the caretaker, and it's like I'm a cat that became a nurse. I don't know what to tell you guys.
Yes, I don't know what the principal's doing at this school with his employment scheme.
Is the capybara the only one that's actually an animal? That would be good.
Hang on, let me double check his
next to him. I feel like that's kind of demeaning.
It's very haughty for a capybara. It's very haughty.
Yeah, but I mean, the cat has a fucking office. Like the capybara has to sleep in a cot. Like, that's not cool.
But that's the way she wants it. It's like you can have fun. You look at a dog and what would have fun. Look at a dog just lying there by the fireplace, like not care in the world. I wish I could be a dog. Well, maybe you could be. With magic, anything is possible. Some guys want to be an opera singer. Some guys want to be an architect. Maybe I want to be a dog. Magic is all things are possible.
I appreciate that the second time they go back to the spooky mouth that spews anti-magic, it's because they're trying to have a New Year's Eve party, but the magical research fake club went back to the fucking thing and just gotten fucked up by it. I'm just like, yeah, they're the kind of dumbasses who would do that. Ah, well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and at the end, she's declared her New Year's resolution is to give up magic.
I
guess
know.
the title is related to her self-doubt more than anything else. Yeah.
Basically, right. The rest of these these jabronis, it's like, be a fucking tambourine dancer or some nonsense instead.
Oh, your lad's glow in the dark tracksuit this time.
He fucking likes the tracksuit now.
He does, just constantly bedazzling it. Also, the other brother, the one who's in the actual magic school, and him saying, "I'm doing this for a friend who couldn't become a magician," and then both Yuzu and the boy who got demoted going, "He beats me."
Both the other characters in the scene who are in love with him assume it's them that he's talking about. I did also like the brother kind of going, my brother's always done whatever the fuck he wanted. And the brother's like, yes, that I always get to do what I wanted. That means all my parents' hopes, our parents' hopes are on you, other brother. And the brother's like, yeah, they sure fucking are. Did you even want to be a magician? Not really.
Just want to be a dandy about town.
So run around saying fashionista. Yeah, still enjoyed this. It's kind of like the same quality all the way through. It's a pretty consistent show.
It's very slight. I wouldn't. I'm catching up. Don't try and watch this like a few all at once, because you will kind of. This is like a very like nice looking like profiterole cake, but it's full of air on the inside.
Yeah.
So like it's like some of the kind of stakes in here is just fun. Just imagine getting thrown around, but it's just like, oh, school is a little bit hard, and I don't think I'm going to follow through it when that's kind of at the level of like stakes are involved on here.
Yes,
we kind of the whole thing. There's like actually a schism in the magical world between ancient magic and like modern magic, fun that goes back centuries. Fun saying you're not going to hear about any of that. Don't worry about that. All the kind of like politics around, you kind of like the surrounding issues about this sort of thing. No, it's about a girl who's about doing a little bit tough at school. That's what this is about.
Yeah, because initially I think it was like, oh, it's the upperclassmen who are allowed to study magic and the underclassmen who are like, you guys are shit non-magic class. We only keep you here to laugh and point at you and win at races. And it was like, no, all those kids are also sound out. There's no real villains. It's pretty chill, actually. Yeah.
Then we got Dragon Ball Daima episode 6, Lightning, in which these fucking idiots crash their plane again.
Immediately. Fucking immediately.
Just got this one.
I guess I put too much toilet paper in it. Okay.
And attract the attention of the police, like, straight away.
The cops, don't worry, Goku's shitting behind a bush. Just shut up. It's like, hey, have you seen Goku? No. All right, fucking keep an eye out for him. There's a reward for like a little kid with a stick. It's like, we will, officer. Have a good day. And Goku's like, the fact that Goku's just like, I got shit, like after the planes crashed, it's like, have you got any like shit paper? And it's like, yes, here's the shit paper.
I know Goku. You do. Like, you packed plenty of it.
Thank goodness he had to shit at that fucking moment in time. Like that was the most opportune time to have to take a shit. Yeah.
Yes. Pansy is overpacked. And
when they leave a bunch of stuff behind so they can like continue on, it's like, I forgot all the camping gear. It's like, why would you? That would be the one thing I bring. Like,
but I brought all the toilet roll though. That's more important.
That's important.
We definitely get a lot of sense with their go between your phone saying, "Oh yeah, Pansy is fantasy demon world Bulma."
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. The practical one.
And Coulson, they do a whole load of retconning of the core men, who are now a race called the Glins, who come from Demon World 2.
Born from
shit. It's
trees.
Like, hey, you guys are born from trees, right? Yeah. It's like, so are you like that? Your brother was born from the same tree. Mm-hmm. Is your servant born from the same tree? No, it's like 5 different fucking trees. Like he's a different tree. It's just like, what?
And your sister, she's my sister, but I guess we're not really sisters because we don't have genders.
We don't have gender, but I mean, like, she's chosen to be she and grown a nice pair of tits. So, I mean, she's living her best life as an evil. She stayed in Demon World to be an evil scientist. That's her goal in life. She's living it best. Yeah.
And we learn that is who Glorio is working for.
Yeah. Because he calls her on the phone, basically, going like, yes, it's all going according to plan. Yeah, we're hiding out in a cave. No, there's not a Minotaur in it. Don't fucking worry about that. Everything's going very fucking well.
Who is in this cave? I want to knock the shit out of you and eat you for and say, oh, it's a cow. No, I'm not a cow. If you're a cow, you're not going to eat us for and say, yes, I will. Just step outside and do it for and saying, and step back, Goku. I got this. Is lawyer for saying, no. It's fine, man. I do it for saying, why? You think I can't handle it for saying, well, I'm not saying that, man. But I'm Goku. I'm pretty good at the for saying, oh, is that okay? You and me separate. We're gonna settle this right now. Sorry, for saying, Minotaur, you wait right here. We gotta settle this shit now right away. For saying,
Minotaur is sidelined so fucking quickly, and he's like, should I fucking like come back later, or like, yeah, it becomes so, like. Initially a threatening Toriyama character design. It's just like, nah, joke monster.
He's a
fucking
goofy guy called Minotaur. He's got a cool name, he's told. I like the bit that they smell him before they see him, and initially they think the smell is Goku because he has boasted earlier about skipping showers.
Also, he keeps farting in the plane and taking shits. So
Yes.
I mean, why wouldn't you think it was Goku? Yeah.
It was also funny when Goku's when they're eating, and they're just like, best not think about what you're eating. It's the weird canned centipedes. Is then when he's sleeping, even though he's a child, he is sleeping like a middle-aged man.
Like sprayed out Starship?
Yes, sprayed out. Yeah, but also
that's
the snoring.
That's how a child sleeps. Yeah.
No, I'm thinking of more like the snoring he's doing.
Oh, because he's so full of dinner. Yes. Yeah, okay.
No, he's always done that. I think because Goku has always been a child, even when he's been married and had 2 children.
That's true. That's true. Yes.
What keeps him being a child is that he hasn't kissed his wife. Despite having 2 children.
Birds are gross.
Our
children with them, and that's it.
And so yes, you get your statutory excellent fight per episode of Dragon Ball Daima.
Turns out Glorio can summon lightning, hence the name of the episode. He's got lightning magic. Goku's like, that's pretty good.
You use both hands now. All right.
Because he's like, I'll fight you with one hand behind my back. It's like, come on, man. It's like, no, I'm really good. Watch me do backflips with one fucking hand. It's like, yeah, okay, that's pretty cool. But the lightning is pretty good. So Goku pulls out both hands, goes Super Saiyan, and goes like, good thing I can still go Super Saiyan. And everyone, including the Minotaurs, was like, holy shit. Okay, we did not know what we're dealing with. The Minotaur's like, I just remembered I ate yesterday, so I'm good, actually. I'm going to peace out. Sorry, everyone.
It's fine. We're fine. It's okay.
Then we end with Piccolo and Vegeta and the other guy whose name I forget.
Kibito.
I always
Kibito, yes.
Bulma's like, bye, everyone have a good trip. Their ship immediately fucking crashes, ruining the tiles on fucking the palace there.
Damn.
And it's because Bulma has to get in the ship. Also, they need magic, I think.
Yes.
They said
it'd be rude if that dude who was coming to get them, the ship, and they weren't there. It's like, they just flew off? Well, that would actually be kind of funny. Maybe then
Bulma might have to catch up to them in a new plane. Yeah.
A lot of fun. It still does feel like Dragon Ball does Dragon Quest, and the Minotaur did not help my suspicions on that front.
Nope.
It's the proportions of him as well, because he's got a big cow head, obviously, but he's got Dragon Quest proportions, a big cartoony head, and despite how muscly that body is, it's not threatening on that giant.
I have the art book right out there in the sitting room. I can guarantee I have seen that monster design that's with a different color. In that book.
Yeah,
we were the same kilt loincloths looking thing as well. Everything.
What else are you gonna put on a Minotaur? Come on.
No, slick suit.
Yeah, I mean, like, even if it is freaking Dragon Ball does Dragon Quest, it's like, that's good actually.
We're celebrating the man. We're celebrating the late great dude. So you can just throw everything in here.
Yes, got to get all these retcons into posthumous retcons into the canon, because I'm sure these are all coming from him, knowing how much. Whenever he was getting his hands on Dragon Ball stories purely himself, it was retcon city.
If you didn't know it was him, like, you would think this must really just fucking around now with their own headcanon here. This is not on.
Bulma's got a sister you've never heard of.
Never really comes up.
Yeah.
And you never will again until we remember to use it for something.
But I guess the Demon World stuff is all stuff which could use fleshing out. So I think it's a pretty good place to explore and expand. And that's it. Unless anybody watched anything else, I
Plenty.
Didn't.
I think that's everything. Yeah.
No,
I've not watched any more of that Gundam. 2 episodes was enough.
Okay.
the Unreal Engine one.
Yes, the Unreal Engine one. It's like watching a diorama.
No, I will say, like, God, again, from flicking around channels in the hotel rooms in Japan, however much fucking like light level bullshit we does come over here. There are some there. Okay, I've not seen anything like that before. There's some things that we are spared from ever coming over here.
Okay.
There was some absolute dreck on at some hours of the night.
Okay.
Alternately, interspace bit, all reruns of Prison Tennis, Jujutsu Kaisen, Hunter x Hunter, like from the mid-50s, like oh yeah, sure. Throw an episode of Hunter x Hunter there from the York New City arc one, and everyone loves that arc. Let's throw it on. It's like yeah, I could go for this right now. Blue Box is accurate to Roboco chapters. It is actually on about like 5 to midnight because that's when I was flicking around and seeing the Beyond phone saying it's on right now. Is this a freaking a repeat? No, it's actually on like late at night. Okay.
Right, that's it. We're back next week, hopefully with some Godzilla. Last time there wasn't an episode, it came back with 2, so
it's okay. He's right here.
Oh,
It's adorable.
hello. I've got a friend for him behind me.
Hello. Hey, all right. Does the hat come off? Is the big question.
Hey, whoa,
I haven't tried.
Buy him dinner first.
You're right. It might come off. It feels like it might come off. I don't know if it's I won't try it here.
It does, but not the way you like. Well, senior.
That's excellent. Right. That's it for now. Goodbye.
Good night and good luck.